And we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Susan White. I'm the director of the North Carolina Space Grant Program, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all today. Our symposium today is a continuation of years of symposia, and this is our virtual version of this. Many of you may have joined us in person and also in virtual land last year as well. So we're pleased to have you back. And it's a celebration really of the students, alumni, and partners who offer insights and discussion opportunities for career pathways. And we really are delighted to have you and about 175 other attendees joining us today. You all are representing not only our funded students and faculty, but also our industry partners, our K-12 education partners, and our NASA partners. A big part of what we are is those partnerships that make the programs come together for us. So today you'll hear from our Space Grant alumni and current awardees about their research and their opportunities for engagement with you as students and partners. And then we'll conclude the day with a career panel discussion featuring leaders from various space sectors. So I hope you'll stay through to the end of the day for that very engaged conversation. So in addition to the presentations today, there are pre-recorded lightning talks, and you can find that link to the website in the chat right now. And posters from graduate, undergraduate, and community college students who've received Space Grant funded research fellowships, scholarships, and internships over the course of the past year. So I encourage you to take some time to explore their research on our website, and it's really exciting work. So do if you find the time, go in there and enjoy those presentations. So with that, I would like to welcome Beth DiGiovanni to turn on her video, and I'll introduce her as our keynote speaker. Welcome.
Thanks, Susan.
Beth is NASA Langley's Senior Advisor for the Future of Work in the Office of the Center Director, a role she began in October 2021. In this role, Beth is leading the center in changing its paradigm for where, when, and how its people work, which will expand its abilities to attract and retain top talent and strengthen its partnerships inside and outside of NASA. Previously, Beth served as NASA's Director for Mission Support Strategy and Integration in the Mission Support Directorate, where she was the Senior Advisor to the Associate Administrator responsible for developing and delivering agency-level strategy across the portfolio. Prior to this role, she was appointed to NASA as a Deputy Assistant Administrator for HR Transformation. So you can hear the little tone of the career and the engaged and how we're going to support our new students and our faculty in partnership with NASA. So Beth is a leading expert in transforming business functions, specializing in supporting STEM-based organizations such as Space Grant in effectively and efficiently meeting their mission. She graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill with a degree in business administration and a double major in art history. So it's a pleasure to welcome you, Beth, and we hope our audience will have time for questions and answers. And those questions from the audience should be placed into the Q&A box, if you will, so that I can moderate the question and answer discussion at the end of Beth's talk. So with that, Beth, I'll turn it over to you. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Susan. And thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey this afternoon. I'll show you some pretty inspirational missions and technology associated with the Artemis program, but I'm also going to talk about what makes it all possible, the people, you all, us, and how enabling our people to work together is what makes these inspirational missions a reality. What you'll see is that the Artemis generation is a network of innovators and collaborators who are and will work together to solve the hardest problems, and we'll get it done with new ways of working. My hope today is to inspire you to be part of the Artemis generation, that you see just a few of the thousands of possibilities to contribute, and to hear what NASA is doing to enable our people to accomplish the Artemis mission. Rob, let's play the video showing how NASA will explore the moon and beyond. So as the video said, we are beginning the next era of space, science, and exploration, and we are exploring for the benefit of all. I invite you all to come explore with us and launch your dreams. You can do this by engaging your community, always seeking to learn and grow, and striving to solve the impossible problems to inspire those around you. The key to all of this is to love what you do. Thriving in the Artemis generation takes loving work that benefits mankind and working together to promote what you love doing. Next slide. I love what I'm doing. Now, my role at NASA, as Susan described in my intro, is not in a STEM field. I am supporting the mission by ensuring the organization has what it needs to be successful. I'm very fortunate to be supporting an amazing organization because my journey was not a likely one. You all are STEM professionals with the opportunity to work directly on the problems the Artemis generation is facing. As a business major from UNC Chapel Hill, I never dreamed I would be working at NASA. But growing up in North Carolina, I always had a passion for serving my community, and that passion evolved to a talent for helping teams reach their full potential. And that's what I've done my entire career. I've worked hard to help teams reach their full potential. And as I've focused on helping teams and organizations meet their goals, I've jumped on opportunities to supporting those teams that are working on the hardest problems. Problems I solve are figuring out how to organize and mobilize talent to work on the right task at the right time with the right resources to push farther than they ever have before. When NASA took on the challenge of reimagining its mission support capabilities to better support the mission, I jumped at the opportunity to be part of shaping that effort. I was not a likely candidate to be part of NASA, but it was knowing what I loved doing and seeking out the hardest challenges in my field that brought me to NASA. Next slide. My journey has landed me at NASA's Langley Research Center, NASA's first center at 105 years old, and the place where the Apollo generation was born out of the innovations developed at Langley. Langley is where the scientists, engineers, and mathematicians like Katherine Johnson used their passion to develop the technologies to enable NASA's missions. Langley continues to be where tomorrow's great ideas take flight. Please play the video.
How do you nurture an idea or shape it to solve problems, create opportunity, and open doors to a better life for all? First, find its strengths, discover its limits, refine it, test it, and repeat. At NASA's Langley Research Center, we strive to discover, distill, and connect great ideas, then channel them into solutions, leading to a brighter future. With vision and determination, we look beyond what's possible today and strive to make tomorrow a better place. An idea could be as small as a few lines of code, or as big as a revolutionary way to travel. It could be a system for building in the vacuum of space, or a laser that helps explorers land safely on the moon. We're on a quest to discover trailblazing ideas and transformative tools. We build, measure, and explore. We accelerate technologies and connect concepts, along with the people who envision them. Together with our partners, we push for deeper understanding and search for innovations that will benefit everyone. Breakthroughs that improve how we fly, how we see the Earth, and how we explore the universe. Our work will spread global goodwill, improve lives, and protect our planet. A great leap starts with just one idea. NASA Langley, where great ideas take flight.
great leap starts with just one idea. So true. That video showed you just a small portion of the work happening at Langley to make Artemis possible. Even the work we are doing in aeronautics will be used one day on the moon and Mars to transport people and equipment there. And the findings in technology we are developing to understand atmospheres everywhere is being used to combat climate change here on Earth. The work at Langley Research Center covers a breadth of opportunities and can give you an idea of the type of work the Artemis generation will contribute to. At Langley, we are the innovation hub that develops the early stage research, science, and technology that will be used years from now. The opportunities are endless. What work would you love to be a part of? Next slide. To be a part of these opportunities, you must love solving problems as a team. Nothing we at NASA or the aerospace industry do can be done alone. So working as a team is critical. And it takes hundreds of roles, from technical engineers to world-class scientists, and even mission support professionals like myself, to make it happen. At NASA, all of our people bring their entire self to their role, and we all believe our work means something. We are driven by our mission to discover and expand knowledge for the benefit of humanity. And we thrive in our culture focused on our core values of safety, integrity, teamwork, excellence, and inclusion. So instead of just hearing from me what it's like to be part of the NASA team, I'd like you to hear from others at NASA what this means to them. Let's play the video.
Space is for everyone. We're all working towards a common goal. Just seeing people learn and grow and the community benefiting as a whole.
We have vendors from all around this country, and all of that's bringing in a lot of jobs and getting to work in our community.
I give back by seeing companies grow. My work means something. It provides people with the ability to feed their families.
Not everyone who works on the space program is an engineer or scientist in a white lab coat, and there's vital roles.
Everybody at NASA is very teamwork driven. Nothing that we do here is done by itself.
All successful missions come from a team that works together, that is diverse.
And we each bring a different perspective to the team to help us achieve our goals.
There's literally an expert kind of within arm's reach that you can ask any question to, and you'll probably get one of the best answers in the world.
We take a lot of ownership in what we do. You get to see a lot of that passion, you get to see a lot of that drive. People want to do their best. People want to pull together to be a part of this program that's bigger than what any of us can accomplish on our own.
NASA does the trailblazing with technology. The kind of work we do, you can't rest on your laurels and say, okay, we're there. There's no end to what we can achieve, so we have to keep pushing ourselves.
And any airplane that I get on, it's exciting to think about, oh, this airplane probably at some point passed through many of our centers. We are with you when you fly. We are coming up with safer, newer technologies that are more silent, more energy efficient.
Just to be able to work here and be able to design and touch something that will one day travel to a new planet is amazing. I mean, it's indescribable.
NASA brings hope and inspiration by leading the world to space for the progression of all people.
NASA and the aerospace industry is thriving because of the people. And at NASA, we recognize that taking care of our people is critical to the success of our mission. Our talent, like people everywhere, have been through a very challenging time in their lives with the pandemic. And in the working world, the way we deliver our work has changed to embrace people working wherever they work best. One silver lining of the pandemic for the aerospace workforce is that we have gained significantly more flexibility in where, when, and how we work. I'm an excellent example where my family recently moved from DC to North Carolina to be closer to our extended family. And now I'm Langley's first fully remote executive. I'm Langley's senior advisor responsible for embracing and implementing the future of work. The purpose of the Future of Work effort at Langley is to reimagine working norms, prioritize workforce flexibilities, and optimize workplace investments to accelerate Langley becoming the nation's aerospace innovation hub. The next video is a statement from NASA's Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy to NASA's supervisors. It was just sent out this week, and actually you'll see in the video there's no closed captioning yet because we're still working on that, so I apologize for that. It's a bit in the weeds for this audience, but I think it does an excellent job of showing how NASA is leading the world in our thinking of how we will embrace the new possibilities for work and support the aerospace workforce. Rob, please play the video.
And welcome to what we plan as a regular series of updates as we transition to the future of work. When all this began nearly 2 years ago, we could never have anticipated where we are today. But as I said at our last agency-wide town hall last month, the NASA workforce, the NASA family, has risen to the challenge for COVID, and we will rise to the challenge of meeting a new world of work. As a supervisor, you are critical to helping us continue rising to that challenge. You are on the front lines with the employees who are grappling with the issues of adapting to this new normal. We want you to have the resources you need and to feel free to ask questions up your chain and spur the dialogue that will be required to learn how to make this future of work something that enables everyone to do their best in support of our mission. And it's our mission that is paramount. But when you can, we're asking for you to provide flexibility to your employees. You as a leader understand that we are looking forward to the advantages of working together in person when we can, in a manner that supports all team members. But we're also very excited about the prospect of taking the positive lessons from the past 2 years and continuing to build on them. We must avoid one-size-fits-all solutions. Flexibility is the key to employee engagement and job satisfaction, which will also result in increased productivity. And we're not going back to the way things were. The world has changed, and we as a future-facing science, technology, and exploration agency need to look forward. We're leaving some details to your individual organizations to ensure that you can organize things in the best manner to get the job done. But we're also watching employee feedback closely and measuring what flexibilities are being offered and how the workforce is feeling about the transition. We'll share that with you as it comes. I want to emphasize again how important it is for you to have individual conversations with your employees about their needs and expectations going forward. The more we communicate, the better we will be. We appreciate all of you and realize that this is all new and sometimes difficult. We're talking to the officials in charge on a continuous basis to provide guidance. They're going to be a great resource for each of you as supervisors in your own organization, and we encourage you to lean on them. The future of work is something we will create together. It's not something to shy away from. And indeed, it's really good news that after 2 years, we're doing what we do so well, taking the best of lessons learned. We want to create the strongest NASA workforce for tomorrow that we possibly can. You're at the cutting edge of this transformation, and we look forward to creating the future of work with each and every one of you. Thank you.
The future of work is changing the paradigm for where, when, and how we work, and even what we work on. However, we know this paradigm shift will be critical for leading the Artemis generation. So I'll end with the invitation again to explore with us. Help frame the future of mankind. In a world where there's so much pain, you have the opportunity to lift all people up, trailblaze the next innovations, accelerate positive change across the world, and connect with people everywhere to help us all dream big. You can thrive in the Artemis generation if you love work that benefits mankind and you work with the people around you to promote what you love doing. The last video is one I've watched at least 24 times, and I hope it's one you will watch over and over to inspire you to be part of the Artemis generation. Please play the last video, and thank you all again for the opportunity to speak with you today.
Let's go on with a few. We're gonna just play a few new songs on you, try them on, see if they fit. Can you hear? Are we clear? Clear for liftoff. Take off. For making reverberations. Are we affirmative? No negatory. Come in, come in. Radio, what's your story? Ayahuasca kilo? Well, you will go. Are you ready for a bit of Echo Victor? Feeling wider than awake. Yeah, better quicker than straight. When we love, when we love, when we love. Now there's smoke on the horizon, and the clouds are looking violent. There's a future in need of a frame. Couple spinning in my brain. There's a theory for everything. Resurrection to the big old bang. Rock mountain off to the excitement gang. We got the density of our beings. The unbearable weight, the unbearable light, the unbearable weight. Let's lift it up. When we love, I'm feeling honest as a promise. Troubled times have come upon us. At the core of the cosmos, we are so much more than particles. Sonic to the subatomic, you are a whisper and a scream. You are, we are, all part of this everything. Yeah, so feel important. You are light. You are principle. When you love, invincible. Our shared life, indivisible. When we love, we're invincible. When we love, You gotta land.
Beth, these were amazing videos. Thank you for sharing and for inspiring our group this afternoon. We do have a couple of questions and we have plenty of time, so I'd encourage our attendees to add some of their questions in the Q&A, and that way Beth and I can work through them. Let me go to the first one, Beth. What types of ongoing training do you provide to build the teamwork required for these kinds of important missions, especially where communication is a key factor at so many stages?
Sure. So at NASA, we are continual learners. We're lifelong learners, as the slogan says. And, you know, at NASA, we value those soft skills just as much as we do the technical ones. Things like communicating, you know, teamwork really is critical. And so we know that in order to have great teamwork, you need to be able to work on your skills as far as how you communicate and how you work in teams. And so, you know, we have a great learning website where folks at any time can get the best learning in the world with regard to what that looks like in the soft skills arena, but also on the technical side. But really, one of the things that we have strived or we've focused on a lot over the last few years at NASA is the way you learn as an adult is different from how you learn growing up. You really learn a lot by experiencing. And so we focus a lot on developmental opportunities, on detail opportunities in different parts of the organization to learn what they do and most importantly, be able to communicate what they do. A lot of what we do at NASA is leading the world around us to explore. And so having that ability to engage across all of those key partners is really critical. And it's just what we do every day.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. And those details, those exchange of positions really are an interesting way to get new experiences and to learn from others. So those are great examples. So here's another great question. Would remote work include research positions too? Not all at home, but maybe at affiliate locations like universities, rather than focusing them at a big NASA site?
Absolutely. That's in the vision. That's part of the plan. And you know, actually over the last couple of years, we've actually seen quite an increase in where we're tapping into talent. In our intern pools, for example, we've had folks from across all 50 states, in states that we would have never been able to tap into before. And, you know, Langley's vision for becoming this innovation hub really relies on our ability to connect with researchers and scientists and engineers wherever they are. You know, we want a hub where people come to physically to create the best ideas, but we also know that doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It can be in these conversations now. So yes, we are very much looking at how we can embrace the best talent wherever they are and allow them to work where they need to work best.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know our students are really interested in that because not everybody has the opportunity to have an experience on a NASA site. So those engaged virtual opportunities, I think, are really a forward-looking way for sure. So here is another great one. How does art history fit into your current career? That's a great one because it is interesting where our paths bring us forward. And then how does NASA identify arts in STEAM when looking at potential job applications?
That's a great question, not one I was expecting to get today, but it's good. So, you know, art history has really served in double majoring in that. You know, I had originally had dreams of working in an art museum, and but my path took a different route. And but I will say, having that art background has really helped me. It's helped me to really see the big picture. it's helped me to understand that there's a lot of background that goes into how we get to something, that there really is a history in getting there, and having that appreciation helps you really appreciate where we want to go. So I've found it's been very helpful. Now, at NASA, we are very much about communicating to the world what it is we do in a way that inspires everyone. And so, we have great communications experts who have backgrounds in art, who are really helping to create that vision for the world. And so that's a very tangible way that the arts come into play at NASA. But I will say, yes, we do tend to focus on those majors that are more scientific or technical in nature, STEM-based majors. But we do look first and foremost for a whole person, a person who comes excited and engaged and passionate about the work that we do. And we recognize that those people exist in the arts as well. So it's a great question.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And as you say, we bring all of our talents to the work that we do. So one of the questions that we did have come up is a comment on how great the slides and the videos were that show the diversity at NASA now. And so the no more hidden figures doing critical work, right? So how does NASA recruit its workforce now across all types of positions?
It's a great question. So we really, and coming from our, the HR world, specifically at NASA, I can tell you firsthand that there has been a lot of work over the last decade to tap into a diverse pipeline of talent. We know that the best ideas come from every corner of the earth, right? In every background. So we've put a lot of effort in, especially over the last decade, to find and seek out that talent. So we do a lot of hiring in universities across the nation, not just the traditional or ones that you might typically expect that are, Ivy League or focus on science or STEM fields. But really, we do a lot of work to go and seek out our talent pipeline. And we've also been pushing a lot to say, okay, let's open up all opportunities to everyone. Let's not just have opportunities, announced to a small subset of folks or an existing set of folks. We know that in order to get new ideas, you have to get new people in. And so we've done a lot of work over the last several years to say opportunities need to be open to all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. We at North Carolina Space Grant also, try and work hard to engage a diverse representation of the state of North Carolina similarly. So here's a great one. Have you ever been in space? And will the ISS being retired affect future travels?
So say the last second.
Will the ISS being retired affect future travels?
Okay, so have I ever been in space? Just in my dreams. And as a mission support professional, I would be very fortunate to one day be able to go in space. But I will say it's becoming more of a likelihood with commercial crew and all the new partners we have in our economy, looking to make space travel possible for everyone. So with ISS being retired, so ISS, there's a long journey of what that is going to look like and how we make low Earth orbit more commercialized, and the ability for multiple partners, public and private, to be part of that low Earth orbit atmosphere. But what I will say, so your second question, your second piece of it, as far as was
Whether
the
it would have, yeah, whether it would affect travel.
whether it will affect travel. I think it will give more opportunities for travel, especially into space. So, and you know, the innovations that we're coming up with for space are helping us to travel on Earth. So I think it's a different atmosphere out there and an environment out there. But I think again, the amount of growth that's happening, there will be more opportunities.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So beyond remote locations, how is NASA advancing other lessons learned by coping with challenges and successes during COVID restrictions?
Yeah, so, you know, we've also talked, so it's not just where you work, right? Where if you're at home or you're in the office or you're at a conference somewhere, it's also, we've learned when we work can be completely new, different. So we've learned during the pandemic that in order for someone to show up in their whole self and be engaged in the work that they do, you have to have work-life balance, and you have to have the ability to also think about your personal life. And so what we found through the pandemic is as childcare was disrupted, we had to figure out how to allow employees to be able to have that childcare done or that dependent care done on themselves. So we gave actually during the pandemic administrative leave, or not administrative leave, it's another technical term, but anyways, leave to folks to allow them to have dependent care responsibilities taken care of. But we also saw that, you know, employees would work at different hours depending on when they needed to get things done. So what we want to do moving forward is to be able to still embrace that flexibility, because we know that it's what people need to be able to feel like they can be successful both at work and in life. So that's another example.
Those are good ones, and ones I think not only NASA but all agencies and different institutions of all scales are grappling with the changes. Well, Beth, I just want to really thank you for taking the time this afternoon with us. And if there are any additional questions, we will definitely follow up with you and see if we can't get those answered. But, you know, if we were all in person, we've clapped loudly and very much appreciate your taking the time. We hope that you may be able to stay on for some of the other student lightning talks and presentations. They're pretty amazing. This is your next future generation workforce right here.
It sounds great. Well, I really appreciate it again. Thank you so much. And I'm right down the road in Cary, North Carolina, if anyone ever wants to reach out. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Beth.